Welcome, friends. Today we are doing a list. Yikes. And the list is going to be 10 fragrances I suggest you try for winter. But these will be different. These won't appear on most lists. Or most won't appear on most lists. These won't be your average, like, filler videos that people put out lists every day. On their lists every day, I should say. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. And so we shall start. These will be slightly different, I hope. And you'll have seen some before, and hopefully there might be like one or two that you might not have heard of before. They're mostly niche, I want to say. A couple of designers here. But anyway, we will start with this. And this is Lagerfeld Classic, although mine says Cologne Spray Naturel. This is a vintage bottle. This is like you can get this cheap as chips nowadays. And apparently it still smells all right, but I wanted to go for like the really old one. Because I like to go for the really old one. You know what I mean. You know what I'm like. Anyway, I will read you the notes, right? Brace yourself. Aldehydes, tarragon, clary sage, bergamot, lemon, and fucking green notes in the top. Middle notes of tobacco, sandalwood, orris root. Get like a powdery iris, very powdery. Patchouli, rose, cedar, jasmine. Base notes of amber, vanilla, musk, tonka bean, and oak moss. Don't get a lot of oak moss in this, although it is there. Let's have a spray. Right, don't want to. It's fresh. It's fresh at the top, which is unusual for like what you would expect for like a winter cologne. But this is very good in the winter. It does dry down very musky, ambery, vanillic. Tobacco's not really strong, but the iris is very powdery, ambery, and it's different from your normal sweet, sort of sweet, rich, bubblegummy, like heavily synthetic sort of how do I want to say it? Just your average shit fucking that gets released nowadays. You know, this is very different, and it's really nice. Ramsey got me to buy this, and I am extremely glad I did. Made by... Who made this? Who did this? Parfums Lagerfeld, when houses used to make their own stuff. You know? They don't anymore. But the new stuff, I mean, I'm looking here, and I can get it on Notino, which still operates in this country, from anywhere between £11 and £25. You know? You can still get this for a song, and I imagine it really does smell quite good. So anyway, it'll be different from what you'll get elsewhere. So if you want to smell something like that, that's an irisy sort of vibe. Next is a bit of a classic. I love this fragrance, and this was made by Francois Coty and another rascal, Vincent Roubert. Back in the mid-20s, 1920s that is. We're in the fucking 20s now, aren't we? And this is Knize Ten. This is a fantastic leather, heavy castoreum, clovey, leathery, that type of thing, you know. It's got carnation, it's got geranium at the top. I'll read through the notes. So at the top, there's geranium, rosemary, orange, bergamot, petitgrain, Amalfi lemon. Mid notes is carnation, patchouli, sandalwood, orris. So there's that mid again from a vintage sort of perfume. Patchouli, sandalwood, orris. Tincture of rose, Virginia cedar, cinnamon, and orange blossom. I actually get a little bit of orange blossom in this. And the base notes are big leather, castoreum, oak moss, amber, musk, and vanilla. I absolutely love this stuff. This can be found, if you're in America, I think it's at Lucky Scent. They also do samples, but this is like a raw, manly leather. If you're into that kind of rough, tumble, gruff, hairy sort of leather, this is something you would really like. If you've got to like leather fragrances, big dose of castoreum. Obviously, it's a synthetic castoreum. I would have loved to have smelled this when it first came out. It must have been outrageous. It was made for a Viennese tailor. That's apparently who Mr. Knitzer is. So anyway, that's the first leather offering. Now, moving on to a one which is a bit of a shocking perfume. And it is by a bit of a shocking brand. And I can't remember which one this is. I've dropped an absolute bollock here. No, I haven't. I've just remembered. It's Rake and Ruin. This is fantastic. It doesn't have the name written on, and my memory is appalling. This is absolutely lovely stuff. It smells like a ship. It smells like the bowels of a ship. You totally get it. Like once you smell it, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's got this green, leathery, smoky, woody vibe going on. I don't actually think there's leather in it. We'll have a look at the notes. Hold on a second. It's so smoky though. It feels like a tarred ship. You know when they used to tar like 18. It smells like the early 1800s, like tarred ships and rough sailors and all that sort of thing. So here are the notes. Right, smoke in the top. The smoke, angelica, gin. Definitely get the gin. Sichuan pepper. Yeah, I sort of understand that. It's a little bit peppery. Licorice, juniper, pink pepper, orange, coriander, and lemon. That's in the top. Mid notes are smoke again. Cypress, definitely get cypress. Pine needles. Definitely get pine needles. Castoreum, labdanum, cade oil, costus. Don't know what costus is, to be honest. It looks like a plant. Violet and orris. Don't get violet or orris. No, I don't. I'm trying to convince myself that I do. And the base, smoke again. So there's smoke in the top, the middle, and the bottom, and there is smoke in the top, the middle, and the bottom. Woody notes. Fucking hell. Amber arome. I mean, there's no need. They've put some heavy synthetic. I mean, it doesn't smell that natural, but I mean, fucking, it is a brilliant perfume. Sandalwood and musk. So woody notes and amber arome. Amber arome? It's not easy to say. Looks like a tiger's eye. Anyway, it's a synthetic material to give it to round out the base, I imagine. This is fantastic stuff, though. The brand's really good. I paid for all of my fragrances, obviously, all the time, but I did speak to the bloke, and they do a sample set, and he was like, they do like a 7.5 mil. Like if you go on the website, you'll see what they do. They do like these little leather rolls, like a toolkit, like the old-fashioned toolkit where it would be like rolled up, and each perfume's like 7.5 mil. And I said to him, I was like, oh, there's like some of them I don't want, but I do want this sample set. And he was like, look, if you can wait until we get the materials back in, I'll just knock you up like a specific one. I don't think he'll do that now. But I ended up not buying that and then just buying this instead. There's a couple more I want. I'll tell you who's got some really good reviews on this. It's Talking Sense, Ben from Talking Sense. So if you want to hear what Ben has to say about these, and who doesn't, I would go over to his channel, and he's probably reviewed this. I can't remember off the top of my head whether he has or not. I'm not sure how to link things in the description or in the box, because I mean I literally don't have a laptop. So anyway, this is an outrageously smoky, dark, woody fragrance for winter. I'd suggest you try it. Next, we have another smoky fragrance for winter, and this is one of my favourite fragrances, and It was mentioned yesterday in a video by Ramsey. I haven't worn this so far this year, but I absolutely love this stuff. He said it had an astringent vibe, which I found quite strange because I don't get astringent from it at all. I get smoke and I get leather. And this is Cuir by Mona Orio, simply leather by Mona Orio. Absolutely fantastic. This is one of my favourite fragrances. Mark from Robes Away put me onto this, calling it probably his favourite leather on a live stream about 4 years ago. I can remember him saying that, and he's reviewed it. So if you want to smell it, I would go for it. This was a perfume made by Mona when she was still alive. Unfortunately, she passed away, I think 2014, I want to say. She passed away a while ago, which was a terrible, terrible shame because the stuff she made when she was alive was brilliant. And this is one of them. One of my favourite leathers. Absolutely nuclear, lasts all day, pushes like oh fuck, smells really, really like well-made, rounded and masculine. You don't have to be a man to wear it. If this was worn on a woman, I think that the blurb says on a woman it would smell like not just effortlessly chic, but very chic. Something like that. Something to do with the word ruthlessly chic. That's the way. It's a good way of putting it. This would smell really good on a woman, I think. So the notes, these are all according to Fragrantica. So the top notes are cardamom and anise. Sort of get cardamom. And the mid notes are leather and juniper. Definitely get a big leather in this. And the bottom notes are castoreum and a popanax. I get a huge smoke note from this. The fact smoke's not listed, it must be part of the leather record. Because it does. It smells like a beaten up old leather jacket. But still quality. You know, like it's got another 100 years left in it, but it's already like 100 years old. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic perfume. Love it. Next, we move on to a tobacco. And I have featured this on the channel before. Have I featured it on the channel before? Maybe. I think I might have done it in a weekly rotation video. But here we go. This is Veneer Havane. This is a better version of Tobacco Veneer. I don't think it's based on Tobacco Veneer, but it's certainly in the same sort of like, I don't want to use the word ballpark because it's such an Americanism, but it's certainly in the same like league, you know, the same vein. That's the word. It's beautiful. It's absolutely amazingly blended, really well made, really high end materials. You can expect to see more of this brand on my channel. I've got two bottles more I want to buy from them, which I will save as a surprise when I buy them this year. No, 3 bottles more. I'm currently building my list for what I want to buy this year. But this is absolutely fantastic. It's only 50ml. These are the only sizes you can get, which is a shame. Nearly dropped it there. Which is a shame, but it's brilliant. Like the tobacco's dark, but it's fresh, and the vanilla gives it the depth and this warmth that comes from like the combination of the two. You know, it's absolutely. I mean, it smells like the color of the juice. The colour of that juice is absolutely glorious. The Tobacco Absolute in it, I can't remember how much it is because they've got some literature that they send with their perfumes that tells you like the sheer amount of the sheer volume of the ingredients that they put, and this has got a big Tobacco Absolute. Okay, next I am gonna do a bit of a classic here. It is going to be, hold on, Coco Eau de Parfum. This is amazing. This is a vintage bottle. It is absolutely stunning, and I am struggling to find it. I'm struggling to find it on what do you call it? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to give you the notes. Coco. There it is. Eau de Parfum. Thank God. Sorry for the silence. This is an amber. I'll just wait for the notes to come up. It's like a little fruity little amber as well. It's sweet. I totally think a man can wear this. This is an 80s bottle I've got, but the new one smells very ambery as well. I smelled it in the shop the other day. You can't get these discounted, to be honest with you, because Chanel don't like it. Made in 1984, it was Jacques Polge. 3 years after Antaeus, which I haven't included in this list because everyone's aware of Antaeus. But I'll put this back there for you so you can have a look at it without me smelling it. I get a lot of sweetness from this, but it's not overly sweet and it's not synthetically sweet. I get like a rose and a little bit of spice as well. Let's have a look at the notes. So the top notes are Bulgarian rose, coriander, peach, jasmine, and mandarin orange. I would say I get a bit of the orange and the peach. Definitely more so than the Bulgarian rose. Mid notes are cloves. That must be the spice, or the coriander as well. Cloves, rose, orange blossom, mimosa, and clover. How unusual. Base notes are amber, sandalwood. Yep, both of those. Tonka bean. Yes, I get the civet, a Popanax, vanilla, and labdanum. This is obviously quite base heavy because I get the civet. It's definitely got that Chanel-y, pissy, like very slight piss though, like not so pissy that it's off-putting. This is deep and rich. When I'm smelling it from the bottle and I'm getting a lot of alcohol from it, which I mean obviously you would, but on the skin that turns thick and alluring and almost narcotic, and it's absolutely fantastic. I would recommend men. That's why I put this in this list. I would recommend men to try this if you're looking for an amber or something warmer in this winter, because this is absolutely brilliant. It's on the same sort of level as the next perfume I'm going to recommend. The ingredients are quality because it's Chanel. I know Peter Kokorin has said that he doesn't rate the new one compared to this. I beg your pardon. Compared to this old version, but I do. I do think the new one's quite nice, but I'm glad again that I've got the old version. I've got this and a backup. So yes, I am glad to have this. An amber rose, spicy sandalwood perfume. And speaking of sandalwood perfumes, I have one of the best. The very best sandalwood perfumes and sandalwoods in general I've ever smelled. And it is this Samsara Eau de Parfum. I prefer the Eau de Parfum to the Eau de Toilette, although they both have, the vintages have, oh, look at that. Oh no, it doesn't click into place. I beg your pardon. Get back on there. The new ones don't have the Mysore sandalwood in it. These ones do. Ouch 110 made a video about how the new versions just weren't up to what the old ones were, up to the standard. And I can totally believe him. Well, Ouch 110 is the original British reviewer, I think. He's been doing it over 10 years. He knows what he's talking about. If you like reviews on female perfumes, he's really good. If you want to go and subscribe to him, I've learned a lot from him. And this is one of the reasons I bought this perfume, because of how glowing he was when he was talking about it. You can see me in the top of the bottle. Hello. But I prefer the Eau de Parfum. It's got a less pronounced jasmine in it. But the ylang, I don't want to spray it because I haven't got that much. the ylang in this is absolutely brilliantly blended. I'm not a floral fan at all. But this, you can just smell how creamy the sandalwood is. It's very powdery. We'll see what the official notes are. I'll tell you when it was made. It was made in 1989, I know that. I think the Eau de Parfum might have been released later. I don't know. I'm guessing at the minute. But anyway, here are the notes. Top notes, ylang, peach, bergamot, green notes, lemon. Mid notes are iris. Don't get much iris. Jasmine, narcissus, orris root, rose and violet. And the base notes are sandalwood, vanilla, iris again, amber, tonka, and musk. I really get the Guerlain from this, you know, the vanillic, sandalwood, ambery sort of high-end French perfume that comes from like Guerlain to a certain point. This was before LVMH bought them. I'm sure it's LVMH that bought them, wasn't it? These are when Jean-Paul Guerlain was overseeing everything and doing it to his sort of standard. As we know from Gabe Oppenheim's book, The Ghost Perfumer, there was somebody else involved in the making of these fragrances, other than Jean-Paul Guerlain, and other Guerlains, and other perfumes as well. A pilot, a lady whose name escapes me, which is scandalous, but if you read his book, it does tell you. And she sounded like a remarkable woman, actually. She was a pilot, and she decided to make one of the best perfumes of the 80s, certainly for women. And this is Samsara. This is a fantastic way to end the decade, as far as perfume's concerned. Sorry, you can see my fingerprints. Eugene will be doing his hands. There we go. That's better. You feel better now, Eugene? There you go. I actually feel a bit better now for that anyway. I don't want to get involved. I'll end up buying the microfiber cloth. I know I will. And just polishing my perfume. Lint way into the night. Next, we have a bit of a departure from that. I'm going to go for something much more modern, even though the house is old. And this is a tobacco scent again. You should be starting to see like a pattern forming. These, I'm not breaking the mold here by telling you that these ingredients per se in all of these perfume, leather, iris, sandalwood, amber, tobacco, leather. I've already said leather. These are like what really suit. These are what really suit this weather down to the ground when the temperatures drop, and we are in the dead of winter now. It's January and it's not warm. And this perfume is a tobacco, but it's a little, for me, I get a fruit from it. I get like a blueberry, blackberry sort of like. And this is Volutes. I think I've reviewed this, haven't I? By Diptyque, one of my favourite houses, Diptyque. And I absolutely love this stuff. It's fantastic. Performs all day. Tobacco, it's got... Oh my God, what else have got in it? I've totally drawn a blank. It smells like it's got like a berry note in it, but it's not. It's a big tobacco, sweet honey. Just wait for the notes to come up. It's a tobacco honey. It was made by Fabrice Pellegrin. Oops, throwing the lid around. And it's got tobacco, iris, honey, spices, styrax. This is a little similar to Chergui, but it's definitely not the same. The honey in here turns it sweet. It gives it like this little twang. Like the iris and the honey work together to give it like this little twang, right? And the twang, it gives off like a berry vibe to me. Do you know when you used to get like a pack of cigarettes? I don't know if you were a kid, you would smell the inside of an empty packet of cigarettes and you would get this almost berry, like fresh sweet sort of thing from the tobacco, you know. It was so strange. I always used to think that was mad. It's like coming from a house where nobody smoked and not smoking myself. I used to like smell like my mate's parents like empty tobacco boxes because it was weird. Maybe I was weird. I don't think there's any maybe about it, but you know what I mean. It's like I used to smell them, and I used to be like, that's like an almost berry sort of thing. And that's the first time I smelled this. I was like, wow, that's like blueberry, surely, but it's not. It's the tobacco mixed with like the honey, and it's got spices and styrax. I'm not entirely sure what styrax smells like. Anyway, I really like this stuff. It is synthetic. It's a bit like Serge in that way, but it is beautiful and beautifully made. It just shows what you can do with synthetics if you know what you're doing. So that is Volutes. I need to crack on. This is 25 minutes. Anyhow, we'll try and keep this under 30 minutes. Me and Ramsey dishing out the thick content for you. Next, I'm going to do another leather. Well, the last two are leathers. So it's just which one will I go for first? We'll go with this one. You know these brands, and you know many of you might have smelled this before. I'm just going to give it a sniff before I show you. And this is Bel Ami. This is a vintage bottle, but the new one's still quite good. There are differences, but I'll get into that in a second. 1986, and this was made by Jean-Louis Suizac, and it was brought back in the early 2000s, and that's what this bottle is. It's an early 2000s bottle. I've also got the original shaker bottle vintage, which is absolutely fantastic as well. It's darker and rougher and smokier. Bel Ami means good friend, made by Jean-Louis Suizac, and I will tell you the notes as soon as it wants to load. There is a freshness at the top and an aromatic sort of vibe to it as well. So it's not. What is it not? It's not dark. It's not like syrupy and thick and dark from beginning to end. But it is towards the end. So the top notes are sage, bergamot, cardamom, mandarin orange, and lemon. Middle notes are carnation, patchouli, cedar, basil, orris root, and jasmine. And the base notes are leather, oak moss, styrax, vetiver, amber, vanilla, and coconut. Honestly, every once in a while with vintage fragrances, you'll just come across a coconut note, like a random coconut note in the base of vintage perfume. You're just like, what are you doing there? How did you sneak in? Never smelled coconut in this fragrance in my entire life. I shall have to give it have to smell out for it. This is a leather perfume. This is an aromatic leather, 80s, mid-80s. This is like Hermes' reply to Antaeus. Their powerhouse sort of thing. It's rough, it's smoky, it's leathery, it's mossy. The carnation plays a big role in it, being aromatic, being a little bit spicy, being a little bit... this could be a signature scent for you in the winter. If you wanted to smell different, if you wanted to smell strong, if you wanted to smell good, try this. The new version is quite good. I really do actually like the new version, but where I can, I will always buy a vintage. That's just what I want to do, and that's my collection. I'm lucky enough to have two of these, and I've also got the original bottle as well. I don't think I'll be buying a modern one, but the modern one's much more spicy. It achieves the same aims in a different way. So you get a lot more spice from the new one. A lot less leather, a lot less smoke. This reminds me a lot of the Mona d'Orio. Or I should say the Mona d'Orio reminds me a lot of this. And that sort of, they've used a big smoke note to get the leather effect. So if you like smoke in a fragrance, which I do, then this one may be for you. I would definitely give it a try. And last but certainly not least, I have a modern version of this, and I have smelled the vintage version. The vintage version is a little bit more defined, but this modern version is not bad in the slightest. And this is Cuir Mauresque by Serge Lutens. This is a spicy little leather. Spanish leather, because Cuir Mauresque, like more leather, Moorish leather, I should say. The Moors who like conquered Spain during the Arabic expansion from North Africa and stuff like that. This is what it smells. It's very spicy at the top. It's very spicy at the top. It's warm. It's got like, it smells like cumin, but I don't actually think it's got cumin in it. It has actually got cumin in it. It's totally got cumin in it. If it hasn't got cumin in it, I should give it up. Like, I'll tell you what the notes are. But this is absolutely fantastic. If you can get a vintage bottle, get it. Don't overspend. Those Serge Lutens bottles are going for silly money now. Absolutely outrageous money. This is a really good version of this fragrance, as is the Fumerie Turk. Fumerie Turk I found quite fresh. Like a fresh sweet tobacco. Really interesting. I was going to include it, and then I thought, I've got a few tobaccos anyway. I mean, it's not as if I haven't got a few leathers as well, but you know. I will read you the note listing. There isn't a pyramid. Serge Lutens often don't have a pyramid, but this is the note listing from Fragrantica. Virginia cedar, mandarin orange, musk, agar wood. I don't think it's got agar wood in it. Styrax, nutmeg, definitely got nutmeg. African orange flower, cinnamon, incense, caraway, civet, amber, clove, myrrh, and leather. What I get from this is a huge leather, clove, African orange flower, because there is that sort of orangey vibe to this. The mandarin orange as well. That might be those two things like combining to give it like an orange colour, like an ambery colour. Oh, it's so good. The nutmeg, I get huge nutmeg in this. It's fantastic. The agar wood, I think the agar wood might have been something they've added like for this version to cover up for something they've had to take out from the past. I get the caraway. It's spicy, warm. It's absolutely fantastic on a cold day. It reminds me a little bit of the spices in Fendi Uomo. It might be the caraway, because I think there's caraway in this as well. Or coriander, maybe. It was made by one of my favourite perfumers, Christopher Sheldrake. And I absolutely love it. So, I will show you all of these. See if I can put them in a portrait sort of way. I would highly recommend that you sample these before you buy them, and it is possible. There'll be decanters out there if you're into Facebook, which I'm not. There will be shops like Lucky Scent who will be able to supply you with samples. I know Lucky Scent's got that, definitely. Or you could just go online and have a look. Oh, I'm never getting these in at all. There you go. Volutes, Samsara Eau de Parfum, Veneer Van, Mona Diorio's Cuir, Rake and Ruin by Beaufort London. Sorry for forgetting your name. Cuir Mauresque by Serge Lutens, Lagerfeld Classic, Knize Ten, Coco Eau de Parfum, and Bel Ami by Hermes. Thank you for sticking with us if you have done. 35 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. Bye.